We've got lunch specials.
Come to view the requests? This one, yes? It's in your hands now.
Keep up.
I'm not liking the look of this, but don't let it intimidate ya. Uh-oh. Go get him!
Let's do this.
Let's do
Understood.
this. Nice, Sid.
Yeah.
Whoa, sweet. Keep up.
Looks like we got a second to catch our breath before things heat up again. Looks like they're coming for us. You ready?
Infinite wonder.
It's over!
Now.
Sure.
I'll wipe him out.
We can't rest easy just yet. I'll keep a spell charged.
Ready for pain?
Bring it! Looks like we got a second to catch our breath before things heat up again. I'm not liking the look of this, but don't let it intimidate ya. How many of them are there? Don't let them swarm you!
No problem.
Give it to me!
You're unstoppable.
Sure thing!
You said it.
Break away! It's coming!
Our best. Infinite wonder. Infinite wonder. No problem. Let the rain go.
Fine, B. Do we take 5? Last push! Make sure you get them all!
Let's do this. Never enough! Perish! Let's end this.
And I think that's everything. You were awesome out there.
Not bad.
Yes, can I help you? Right. It's in your hands now.
Got some vermin here. I need it. Unbound! They're wide open. Bendable.
Yeah, that was great.
Take this!
Roger that.
I had it.
It's over already? Boy, you're on a roll.
Okay. Don't mind if I do. Well, that's one more down.
Yes, can I help you? This one, yes? Good luck out there.
Don't slow me down.
You're
Ready
bringing the
yourself.
whole circus, huh? Keep on your toes.
Thanks.
Attack!
Thanks, crew.
I'm ready for more.
It was a pleasure.
After them. Good. Now move out.
What? Already? Wait up!
Leave it to me. I'll fight. With you around, he can handle anything.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Damn. So they want more. Couldn't have done it without you. Did you like that? Show's over.
Strike true! Inferno portal!
Let's do this! All over for you goons!
No time to celebrate.
Yeah, I've got you covered. Let's go, crew!
To the front!
Going all in!
One more!
You got it!
Got you now!
Come on! Eat this!
Back off!
Infinite wonder! Leave it to me!
Looking good so far. You've got this.
My pleasure! Get him! Let's go! No problem! Come on, guys! The fun's just getting started! Let's keep it up! Don't want to get left behind! Ready for pain?
There's still enemies left, but you can take them.
It's over! Take this!
Keep up!
Wide open!
It's over then! You goons!
Slide! Better act quick before they run.
On the
In
offensive!
the home stretch now. Keep it up.
I'm ready for more!
Let's do this.
That's one more quest in the bag.
Fair enough.
Come to view the requests? Right.
Hey, heard about your little spat with Id. Wish I still had that kind of energy.
Eugen gave me a hearty slap between the shoulder blades.
The chills I got when watching them. Man, they were going all out.
Of course Vern had told everybody. I could appreciate honesty and openness throughout the crew, but I clearly needed to have a talk with that dragon about minding his own business.
So you're jealous Lyria's making new friends? What, do you have a crush or something?
Yo, don't be silly. That's not what this was about at all. As Lyria tried to explain the situation, I stood there with a smirk. She's cute when she's flustered. It had been a wild ride, but things were finally back to normal. I couldn't get the duel with Id out of my mind. He had been a perfect storm, placing his whole heart behind every blow. I had to remember what I was fighting for to even stand a chance. To be honest, I still don't think I'm stronger than him. I won this battle, yeah, but both of us are still changing, still growing. Who knows how it'll turn out if there's a next time. But I doubt we'll ever need to fight like that again. Id trusts me now. I can feel that just as much as I felt the shock of his sword clashing against mine. Trust is nice, but it always comes with responsibility. Still, that's the weight I signed up to carry when I became the captain of the Grand Cipher, and took Lyria's hand all that time ago.
We really don't get a break.
For sure. It felt like everybody in Zega Grande had a job for Mr. Fix-It. Today's request? Just taking down a monster that can demolish a small village with a sneeze. No biggie. Vern, could you get us some potions?
You betcha! Liquid health coming right up!
Lyria, we're about to head out. Mind letting the rest of the crew know?
Sure, no problem.
I took a deep breath, letting it settle in my chest before releasing. We had a game plan, of course, but you never know how these things will go. Timing, coordination, everything had to be perfect.
We'll be fine. I trust you, and so does everyone else.
Id put a hand on my shoulder, and somehow, that weight steadied me. We'd figure things out. We always did. I exchanged a nod with him, and we headed for the docks. The rest of the crew was already there, waving their arms in the air. From the smiles on their faces, you'd think we were going for a tropical vacation in a goose day. Well, either way, I was sure we'd all come out of it in one piece. We had a bright future ahead of us.
On days without work, I would meditate on the deck of the Grand Cipher. One day, the voice of Vern broke through my meditations.
I don't know. She looks pretty wound up. Wouldn't she usually have dozed off by now? I'm telling ya, something's going on.
He was livelier than ever. Perfect.
You shouldn't push yourself too hard, Narmaya.
And sweet, tender Lyria. Yes, this was how things should be. I cracked open my eyes and stole a hopeful glance at the captain. But on that kind face, I could read only worry and distress. I wanted nothing more than to comfort my darling. No, I was acting for their sakes. I had already come so far. If I could just hold to my path a little longer, make the skies a little safer, then I could go back to being their big sister. I needed more strength. I needed to be worthy of this family. The crew of the Grand Cipher was powerful, but in the end, we were only small people in a vast sky, filled with endless dangers. If I didn't get stronger, one day that sky would engulf us. I had to protect them. I could protect them. All I was lacking was time. I couldn't believe it. I rushed back to Zero after every mission, but that day the captain had dropped by without my knowledge and taken up a request, a particularly treacherous one. It was careless to think that Zero would reserve every single dangerous job for me.
The Grand Cipher crew's more than capable of handling it.
Couldn't she see? The universe worked in dark and mysterious ways. Their lives were always in danger. If I allowed monsters to wander free through the skies, their rot would continue to seep until I, just one lonely figure, could no longer hold back the tide. I had to hunt them all down. There was not a moment to lose. I had to cut down the root of evil, so it could never spread again. I would not kill out of malice, nor did I seek meaningless violence. But when weighing the lives of my loved ones against the lives of these beasts, the answer was clear. As long as their threat persisted across the skies, the crew would never truly be safe. So I would wield my blade to protect the crew and the helpless. For the captain, I would become the harbinger of death. Everything is for the captain. My captain. My dearest captain. I would kill, and kill, and kill, and kill. Every last threat.
Hans took me to Grassgard. As an artist's soul is mirrored in their brushstrokes, so too is a lord's character reflected in the state of their dominion. Everywhere, you could see Ludwin's gentle touch. From the full fields, to the content faces of the farmers, to the laughter of children and adults alike that filled the air.
What do you think of our humble land?
I tore my eyes away from the bright orchards and turned to Hans. It's beautiful. It may not be large or bustling, but I've never been to such a peaceful dukedom.
I'm sure his lordship will be pleased to hear that assessment.
Suddenly, I found myself curious. Earlier, you said that the ancestral trials would teach Ludwin how to rule. But judging from what I've seen here, he is already a capable lord. What more would you like him to learn? Hans smiled tenderly, as a grandfather might when speaking of a beloved grandchild.
I should have known an avid scholar like yourself would read between the lines. Make no mistake, Ludwin is not a perfect leader yet, but it is not my place to discuss his flaws.
Then tell me this. Are his flaws related to his family's inability to fight?
Let us call it a starting thread, but the full tapestry is so much more.
I decided not to pry. I already had the information I needed to guide Ludwin through his trial.
Sir Lancelot? I don't remember sending for you.
Of course, the Lord was surprised to see me. Although friendly, I was a rogue element in a world where this man had control of nearly everything. I have come at the request of Hans. He would like me to assist you in deciphering the tome.
I see. Hans does have a knack for meddling in his lord's affairs, but I welcome you all the same because, to tell the truth, I'm getting absolutely nowhere.
I smiled, despite myself. It was nice to meet a noble who wasn't spilling over with pride. Hans beckoned me to his desk, and I leaned over the old tome.
What do you make of it? This must be child's play for a famed warrior scholar.
He looked at me with expectant eyes. I'm sorry, but I can't decipher this. We will need to enlist the help of an expert. Expectation turned to astonishment.
Lancelot, though you fight like a storm, your mind is as clear as the stillest of ponds. I can't believe you'd need to ask for assistance.
Can't you? Every second I spend on the battlefield is a second away from the library. Ludwin hesitated a while longer, but when I strode to the door and held it open for him, he sighed and relented. No one in either of our circles was well versed in ciphers, but that was a matter of small concern. I knew an information broker. Zothba put me in touch with a language scholar who delivered a key to us within a fortnight.
Well, I'll be. The clue was in the names of my ancestors.
Ludwin stood up behind his desk and stretched, and the lines of care and worry melted from his face. He must have had many sleepless nights poring over the withered pages of the tome alone.
Thank you, Sir Lancelot. I can finally read the damn thing. It's only a matter of time now until I find the sword.
It was my pleasure. I look forward to news of your success. But I already knew. Before the unearthing of the blade, Hans would come to visit me one last time.
I can no longer recall when I first met the captain. All I can say is our paths crossed in dark times, when nights were sleepless, and the wind whispered with insidious intent. Fiendrock, my homeland, was crumbling from within, consumed by the weakness of her own people. I ventured abroad to seek help from our neighbors, but this rendered me blind to schemes hatched in the heart of our court. When I returned, the adders sprung, and I found myself falsely convicted of regicide. Disgraced, I fled the kingdom and wandered for a while in the pathless wild. Perhaps I would still be there, slowly fading into the shadow, had the crew of the Grand Cipher not come for me. The captain never once doubted my innocence, led me back to Fiendrock, and cleared my name. My honor was restored. Thus concluded the greater part of my tale, but the Grand Cipher's myth was just beginning. I joined the crew to see this story unfurl. Our journey, like all great journeys, has passed through both sorrow and joy. We have traversed the wilds, crossed kingdoms forgotten, and met all sorts of folk. I've always found the meeting of people to be miraculous. Throughout the course of history and on into the future, there have been and will be at least as many people as stars in the sky. For any two souls to come together is as wondrous as looking up into the night and seeing your image set against the velvet and winking lights. I do not know if it was fate that brought me and the captain together, but I do know I will never meet such a person again. I intend to sail with the crew to whatever end, even to the bottom of the skies. In my youth, I was vain and headstrong. I shunned the company of others, hurting all who came near me. If I had continued on that path, it's likely I would have died alone, with no one to mourn my loss. But that was not to be. I was discovered by Yosef, the former king of Fiendrock, found, quite literally, by the side of the road. Though at that time, I slew monsters solely out of malice. His Majesty looked at my blade and saw what took life could also save it. He knighted me, and under his guidance, I learned about honor and friendship. I found meaning in existence. But in our world, love is inextricable from grief. New friends and brothers were lost. People that I trusted turned upon me. Loyalty had imbued me with pride. But now, it taught me desperation. Once, this desperation drove me to drink the blood of a dragon. This isn't to say that I regret becoming a knight. Lancelot, Vayne, Percival, the friendship of those three alone is worth any price. I learned the greatest lesson of all from them, that no matter how much is lost, we may always find hope in younger generations. They are what we must fight to defend. They are our purpose. To think all this was set into motion by a single meeting on the side of the road. As I grow older, it becomes clearer how much I owe to King Yosef. but I shall never be able to thank him in person again. That is why I swore to repay him in the only way I know how, by dedicating what is left of my life to the future of his country. I know King Yosef would not want me to grieve overly much for him, but he turned me from a vagabond into the captain of the Black Dragon Knights. Under his rule, the base were ennobled, tall towers were raised, and withered fields burst forth into color. He might have done much more, had traitorous hands not cut his life short. The royal consort Isabella, covetous of his power, killed the king and smeared the guilt of it on me. Unable to prove my innocence, I was forced to flee the capital. For weeks, I was hunted by soldiers I had trained by my own hand, Lancelot foremost among them. My name was now reviled, scrubbed like a stain from the halls of honor. But this caused me little pain, for I never hungered after fame or titles. I served the crown because I loved my country, the same reason for which King Yosef wore it. Even as his body was broken and he lay on the threshold of death, he called only for the mending of Fiendrock. I would not let our home waste away under the shadow of Isabella's ambition. I returned to the marches, where I dwelled in secret, gathering information. I worked alone, and even Lancelot was kept from my counsels. I did not tell him of my innocence, nor why I sought to cut out the now festering heart of our court. My silence was not due to a lack of trust. It would have been impossible for me to reach Lancelot unseen. Any attempt at communication would likely have ended with my arrest. But even had there been a clear path to Lancelot, I would have kept to myself. Lancelot was and is still young, and young minds are easily molded. If I was to leave the protection of the kingdom to him, I needed to be sure that he was more than just clay, that he had an uncorruptible, ironclad core. I needed to be sure he was not the type to blindly follow orders or emotions. He wavered, as we all do, but fortunately, he was not alone. He had the support of his childhood friend, Vane, and of the Grand Cypher's captain. They were his light and anchor, and with their help, Lancelot navigated the swirling tides of intrigue and arrived at the shores of truth. We were thus reunited, and together delivered Fiendrock from Isabella's clutches. I had fulfilled King Yosef's last wish, and Lancelot had come into his own. It was time for me to step down and place the country in the hands of the young. And so it was that I put the rolling hills and bright walls of my home behind me and embarked on a journey of discovery across the skies. Zega Grande, another new skydom where the clouds hid unfamiliar tales. My travels aboard the Grand Cypher have taken me to many far-flung places, where I have found that there is yet enchantment in this world. I've sought after magical seashells with the power to heal kingdoms. I've crossed blades with legendary warriors, and I've heard strains of alien music, which, though strange to my ears, still spoke to my heart. But no matter how far I roam, my thoughts are constantly with the country King Yosef left in my keeping. When we alight in a foreign land, I find myself drawn not to gardens or taverns, but to places of law and order. I am ever seeking new allies for Fiendrock and rooting out her enemies. It must seem like I have a mind of cold iron and steel, driven by thoughts of politics and war. And I have no excuse except to say, once a knight, always a knight. Zega Grande had almost fallen under the sway of Avia. Now, as its people rebuilt, I desired to learn whether their fortresses were stronger, and whether any dark shadows still haunted their streets.
What you doing, Siegfried?
Vern appeared at my shoulder one day as I was walking through Seed Hollow. I'm gathering intelligence. The dragon wrinkled his snout.
Man, you're a workaholic.
He wasn't incorrect. I did want to lay aside responsibility and stroll unburdened in the sun, but I couldn't rest easily when duty called.
Hey, what if I help? 2 weeks are better than none.
Vern was indeed light and fast, but I found it easier to scout alone.
Come on. I know how to handle myself.
You certainly do. If anything, I felt that the captain, Lyria, and Vern were strong beyond their years. That they had been forced to grow up too fast. All right, Vern, be my guest.
Finally, something to do. Agent Vern is on the job.
Vern twirled deftly in the air.
So, what exactly is the job? What kind of intelligence you looking for?
It's a little abstract. I would like to learn about the values of this country. Why it was founded, for example, or what would cause its people to go to war. For nations with similar values are often quick allies, but nations with conflicting values find themselves enemies.
Yeah, I'm totally following.
Take Fiendrock, for example. Our king and people stand for fellowship and peace. If we were to find out that the leaders of Seed Hollow, on the other hand, favored conquest and power, then we might expect trouble.
What, kind of trouble are we talking here?
Don't worry. I gave Vern what I hoped was a reassuring smile. I am not here to conduct a coup. I only seek information to bring back to Fiendrock, which may help in matters of diplomacy.
Diplomacy? Well, that's way above my pay grade. Aw, dude, I think something just happened over by the gate. I see a bunch of soldiers running that way.
With 2 flaps of his wings, Vern lifted himself higher into the air and hovered, squinting against the glare of the sun. Seed Hollow's military force. This may be worth looking into. Come.
Right behind you.
A group of onlookers had gathered by the gate, speaking in loud, excited voices.
A monster hunt, huh?
Let us follow them. We may learn something useful. Nothing is so revealing of a person's nature as their deeds in battle. We passed out of the stone city and trudged for a while among grass and dirt paths. Or rather, I did, while Vern rode the winds beside me. Suddenly, he let himself rise on an updraft.
Spotted them! They're going at it!
As he spoke, I became aware of distant cries and the clash of arms. Let's see here. I crept beneath the shadow of dappling leaves and up a small knoll for a better look.
I don't think they can win this thing.
The warriors of Seed Hollow were many, and their faces grim with determination. And yet,
Captain, we can't hold out much longer!
Stand your ground. If these monsters get past us, it's the lives of your friends and family.
they were scattered, weak, and on the brink of disaster. Vern, I'm going to their aid. With that, I grasped the hilt of my sword and burst from the cover of the trees.
We gotta hold on!
They're moments away from annihilation. We must lead on. Come and face me!
The hell are you? Get out of here! This is no place for civilians!
With all due respect, you are not in a position to reject my aid. Focus on keeping yourselves safe.
All right, fine. That sword of yours better not just be for show.
How is he mowing down all these half-beasts?
Captain, bear! He's dancing circles around the half-beasts!
Yeah, I can see that. Stop gawking and tend to the wounded.
We're gonna make it!
Heads up! Got monsters coming in from above!
Be gone!
Freeze!
We're on it!
Too slow!
The next wave is coming. Quickly, get to safety.
Bad news. Goblin soldier marching this way.
There's no way he can handle that alone. Who's still got juice in them? Back into the fray!
No, stay put. We'll not be able to win with you as a burden.
By my blade! Cut in twain!
Surrender! Bear with!
Cleared them out!
You are all safe now.
I can't believe my eyes! Is that guy human?
We could have handled them alone. You know we could have. Think of how hard we've trained.
The cry of the last monster faded to nothingness, and I sheathed my sword.
Oh, man! They're lucky we got here in the nick of time!
Danger averted, Vern drifted to my side.
Well met, Skyfarers.
The soldiers from Seed Hollow gathered themselves and limped to form ranks. At their head, a man I believed was their captain stood, frowning at us.
You guys must be dying to thank us. I take payment in apples, by the way.
Vern wasn't quite reading the mood.
So you know your way around a sword. Great. We appreciate the help and all, but could you not interfere with official military business?
What?
We're professional soldiers. We can handle monsters without you swinging in to save the day.
Number one, that's a lie. Number two, what's with the attitude?
That's enough, Vern. The dragon looked ready to spout fire. Hoping to calm him, I caught him and held him in my arms. I'm sorry. We mean no disrespect. With a bow, I turned and left that shadowy glade. I did not relax my grip on Vern because I felt certain that if I let go, he would flip back and spit venom in the soldiers' faces.
Come to view the requests?
What was wrong with them? They would have been toast without you.
Vern flew beside me, seething. We are strangers to this land. Those soldiers have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, but doesn't it get you riled up when people are so rude?
I laughed. If rudeness were the worst foe we ever faced, we'd be lucky warriors indeed. In truth, I empathize with them. It is the duty of a soldier to fight. Incompetence on the battlefield is a matter of great shame. My unwanted assistance was salt in the wound.
I guess I could see that, but still.
Listen, no one was badly hurt. That is all that matters. I had trained many knights in my day. They had gone through their growing pains, and tasting defeat and humiliation. Yes, failure is bitter, but it is nourishment. And thus the knights learned and grew, each and every one of them, into powerful warriors. When it came to the finer points of warfare, the forces of Seed Hollow were clumsy at best. But their sense of duty was unparalleled. Upon hearing rumors of danger, they had acted swiftly, marching without fear to the monster's den. And though they had been forced to the very cusp of annihilation, not a soldier had wavered or fled. Now, they too had drunk deeply of the medicine of defeat. I believe it would course through them like fire and bring them newfound strength. The forces of Seed Hollow were capable of much, much more. I entered the warm wooden interior of my cabin on the Grand Cipher, carrying an armful of books. I laid them on the desk, drew out a chair, and took a short trip through Seed Hollow's history. Unbroken peace. For 500 years after the ending of the war, violence had not troubled the skies of Zeka Grande. There were your usual skirmishes, of course, power-hungry rebels, etc., but nothing so big it had not been quickly sorted out and buried in the sands of time. However, 15 years ago, tragedy on Dali Island acted as a catalyst to the rise of Avia. Hitherto peaceful primals went on rampage, and hordes of monsters were drawn to the carnage. So that's why. I thought back to the disordered ranks of the forces of Seed Hollow. Peace had dulled their senses. They had forgotten how to handle swords and spears, forgotten how to manage monsters, each one vastly different in shape and movement. They need guidance. The people of Seed Hollow seem to be gardeners, fond of orchards and good rich earth. They had no love of war, nor possessed the means for a great campaign. Unless a revolution were to completely reshape this country, I did not believe it would ever pose a threat to Fiendrock. Its forces existed not to invade, but solely to defend. But now, they had not even the power to do that. Seed Hollow soldiers were steadfast and honorable. I had seen that, but they no longer knew how to protect their land. I had come to admire the delicate flowers and many bowed trees that flourished in this clime, and did not wish to see them trampled under a monster's claw or an invader's boot. I could offer Seed Hollow's forces counsel, but I would have to tread carefully. After all, I was a foreigner, and a former captain of knights. One misstep, and I could forever sour the relations between Seed Hollow and Fiendrock. I will have to be discreet. I threw on my traveling cloak and arranged my pouch. Hearing no footfalls outside my room, I slipped through the door and padded softly down the corridor.
Oh, hey, Siegfried. You heading out?
Vern spotted me on the deck of the Grand Cipher. So much for stealing off unnoticed. I'm going for a walk.
On your tiptoes? No way, man. I bet you're going on another one of your secret missions.
Though small, Vern had inherited the legendary wisdom of the dragons. Guilty as charged. But the fewer people who know about it, the better. Can you keep this from the others?
Come on, Siegfried. We all know you only act for truth and honor and justice and all that. If you're gonna disappear, you should at least tell your captain. My butt'll understand.
I could find no objection. It seemed that all the adventures Vern had been on, all the grand and wondrous things he'd seen, had sharpened his insight. Yes, of course. You're right. I followed Vern to the captain's cabin. I've come to ask for permission to leave on a private mission. But I must warn you, if things go wrong, it could spell trouble for the crew. My throat was tight, light nerves, I supposed, and a touch of guilt. The captain did no more than smile and wish me a safe journey.
What'd you expect? We trust you.
Fortune truly had graced me with the best of companions. I strode through the gates of Seed Hollow.
So, what you gonna do here?
With a dragon on my tail. I would like to ask you the same question. Why did you follow me?
Curiosity. What's a cool knight like you always doing when he leaves the Grand Cipher?
Curiosity killed the lizard. But no matter. Vern and the captain had offered me their complete trust, so I could do the same in return. Besides, if anything were to happen, I'd be there to protect him. You're welcome to stay, but I am only visiting Seed Hollow's forces again to offer help if I may. Nothing of interest.
Sounds like something my bud would do. But I thought you were gonna leave them alone, to help them save face or whatever.
I was, but I realized that, in the end, the safety of the people is too heavy a price to pay for pride.
That's fair. No offense though, Siegfried. Your way with words is a little, special. So I'll just come along and do the talking.
20 minutes later, Vern and I were in the heart of Seed Hollow, watching its soldiers scurry about like mice. 500 years of peace has truly taken its toll. Seed Hollow's forces had become only an army in name. In truth, the military affairs of the country were run by Zothba, a civilian and information broker. Everyone took orders from him.
Dispatch from Zothba. We got a lost child on our hands. Everyone, split up and search for the mother.
Yes, sir!
Man, you ever just get lost and have a whole army look for your mom?
Vern hovered by the branches of a tall oak, surveying the commotion with shining eyes. It is important to serve your people in times of concord as in times of strife, but I fear they have lost sight of their true duty. There is a saying, it is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Peace should never so lull a nation that its defenses are abandoned and its soldiers turned into clerks and errand boys.
Captain, new orders just came in. We're being sent to clear a horde of goblins camped right outside the city.
Now these errand boys faced hordes of monsters who had been roused by Avia's machinations. 500 years of stillness, nature, and peace gone. All at the whim of a madwoman.
You hear that, troops? Prepare for battle! Drive those goblins away from our homes!
Yes, sir!
They sure got bark. Problem is, they ain't got bite.
Are you worried about them?
Aren't you? You saw them get their butts kicked into the next Skydom just a few days ago.
I did, but failure is the mother of success. I readjusted my gauntlet and shifted my sword on my back. This is a chance for them to grow. I'll make sure of it.
Lyria and Vern became a regular fixture at the studio. They said they wanted to be there when Shanae finished her latest piece. I felt much the same. Her pieces were charming, even while portraying the thin line between life and death. Rare to get drama like that outside of a novel. But my true reason for visiting was out of concern, not interest. She was battling an unpredictable disorder, so I wanted to be around should the worst come to pass.
Could you stick around for a few? I need to run out and buy a few things.
You dare waste my time with your foolish errands? Fine, but at least be quick about it. After Heimel left, Shanae waved me closer to her bed.
After all you've done, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but...
Her voice quivered. She was plainly troubled.
I don't know if I could say this. Wow. Okay, I want my brother to be free. I don't want to bind him any longer.
Tears began to gloss her eyes.
Without me holding him back, he could find someone and settle down. He has such a kind heart. He needs to share it. If I'm ruining his life, then I would rather not be in it at all. Please take...
I interrupted her. I don't condone this, and I doubt your brother would either. Oh boy. If there was ever a time to talk about my past, this was it. Look, I've been in your shoes. There was nothing the village doctors could do, and I was abandoned by damn near all the townsfolk. For the dying, hope was cheap. It was better to look inevitability in the face and maintain some of your dignity. But there was one person who stood beside me. My light, my rock, my sister. She was with me the entire time, keeping me warm in the shadow of death. And in turn, I gave her the comfort of company, not being alone in this world. I continued to detail memories of my sister, over 2,000 years old, hoping that Shanae would get the point. She hung on to every word. When I concluded my story, to my disappointment, Shanae seemed to pick up the wrong message.
How did you get better?
Simple. The curse of genius. I developed an entire school of magic and abandoned my wretched body. I couldn't suppress a proud grin. She nodded along, not quite understanding. I couldn't blame her. Few people had the opportunity to learn the glory of alchemy, especially in these far-flung Skydoms. Imagine your body is a jar and your soul is water. I created a fresher, cuter jar and poured my soul into it.
You can do that sort of thing?
Shanae cupped her mouth in surprise. Don't insult me. There's nothing I can't do. She grew silent as gears began to whir in her head. A few moments later, she stared at me with pleading eyes and spoke.
Could you do it for me?
Well, that was predictable. But I could relate to her predicament, and that alone made me want to help. If you really want to go through with this, I can make you a jug too. However, you should know, it wasn't going to be simple. The soul swap was messy on an experienced alchemist's psyche, much less a mundane girl's. Nor would I be around to perform maintenance down the line. It could very well be a fast track to the grave. And to inhabit an alchemized body was to stray from the natural order. She would forever be a false life form. Shanae had no knowledge of the arcane. She was struggling to grasp these factors. And what's worse, I didn't have the decades needed to explain the details. So I opted for a simpler route, and explained the side effects in more mortal terms. Even if your memories, knowledge, and personality make the jump, you will never feel the same. Your senses will feel foreign. Your fine motor skills will be dulled. In short, goodbye, art. Take, for example, the sky. We each paint it in our own way. One may clumsily blob some white on a blue background, while others might choose a deeper hue or express the clouds with more definite contours. Art is a negotiation between the artist's mind, eye, and hand. And if 2/3 of that equation were to change, then the artist might as well be a different person altogether. Even I, genius that I am, took centuries to adapt to this process. Finally, it means you won't be human. You'll have to maintain your body like a machine, and you'll never have children. Is any of this sinking in?
But...
Shanae looked down at her hands, as if it were the first time she had ever seen them. It was never an easy decision. Even my sister begged me not to abandon my mortality, right until I made the hop into a new vessel.
Zeta! So glad I caught you again.
How did he always know when I was in Seed Hollow? He was clueless to his clinginess, and it was testing my patience.
Are you free today? I was thinking we could go on a picnic.
I mulled it over for a bit. A picnic didn't sound half bad. It was a nice day after all.
Oh no. Is this a bad time?
His puppy dog eyes bore into my soul. How could I say no to that? Kids just have this way of triggering your protective instincts. Not to mention they can be terrifyingly perceptive. You know what? The weather's great today. So count me in. His face lit up with joy, and I turned to my next important decision. What to have for lunch. I didn't have to think too hard about that. When it came to picnics, sandwiches were the only way to go.
This must be the lad I've heard so much about.
A few days earlier, I was in the ship's lounge telling the captain about Vaughn when Vasaraga happened to walk in. So he ended up learning about the kid, too. He listened without saying much. Never was the talkative type, anyway.
Hi, mister. I'm Vaughn.
I half expected Vaughn to cower from Vasaraga, but instead the boy dropped a friendly hello. Maybe he had a strict upbringing.
Call me Vasaraga.
Vasaraga looked at me, then at Vaughn, then back at me again. What did he want?
So that's how it is. Here, Zeta. Take these.
I peeked into the bag he gave me and did a double take. It was stuffed with fruit sandwiches.
These come highly recommended by Vern, Lyria, and the captain. You should split them with Vaughn.
For the both of us. Huh. Call me crazy, but it almost sounded like he went out of his way to buy these for us. I rummaged through the goods and caught sight of one sandwich stuffed with melon slices and another with peaches. Nice. Those are my favorites. Hey, great pickups, Vasaraga. Can't wait to scarf these down.
Go for it.
Cha-ching! Jackpot! Vaughn and I said our goodbyes to Vasaraga, and we found an open bench in a park just outside the city.
You look really happy. Are you a big fruit fan?
I was jamming an ungodly amalgamation of fruit, bread, and whipped cream into my face. I think that counts as a yes. Yeah, more or less. I like anything as long as it's tasty.
Ah, that's good to know.
There was no chance in hell Vasaraga picked out these cute sandwiches all by himself. Absolutely none. Someone in the crew must have tagged along. The thought of him stomping through the aisles of a shop filled with cupcakes and cookies drew a chuckle out of me.
So, are you and Vasaraga an item?
Are we an item? Gross! Is that what it looks like to you? Look, he's just my coworker. I'm kind of stuck with him. Uh-huh. He opened his mouth as if he had more to say, but I guess he changed his mind. We ended up having a fascinating chat about bugs instead.
Good afternoon, Zeta! It's always nice to see you.
It was another gorgeous day. Vaughn came bounding over to see me for like, what, the 100th time? Or maybe even millionth?
I wanted to give you something to say thanks for the souvenir you got me. I hope you like it.
He held out a beautifully wrapped box, its sides emblazoned with the logo of a world-class bakery. I didn't know what to say. Kids ought to be spending their lunch money on cheap snacks, not fancy pants pastries. Are you sure you want me to have this? How could you even afford this with pocket change?
Don't you know it's discourteous to appraise the worth of one's gift?
How do you know big words like that?
Papa told me.
Oh, great. Don't tell me he got his family involved.
I wanted to show you how much I care, so I saved up my allowance. Zero Carte helped me pick a shop that's popular with girls.
Vaughn stared at the ground as he spoke, stealing an occasional glance at me to gauge my reaction. He had put his feelings out there in the only way he knew how, and it was all coming to a head. In a situation like this, I had to be firm yet considerate. I could never live with myself if I trampled over his heart, even if I didn't mean to.
I thought for sure you'd like it. I guess I was wrong.
He kicked at the dirt, still unwilling to meet my gaze. Wow, as if I didn't feel guilty enough already. What are you talking about? This is an awesome gift. Thank you. As soon as I said that, his toothy smile came roaring back with a vengeance. But from now on, you can't give me any more presents.
Why not?
In one fell swoop, he turned my words against me. Poor boy was on the verge of tears. His voice quivered as he explained his intent. He had seen how delighted I was with Vasaraga's gift of sandwiches, and all he wanted was to deliver that same joy. Oh, you sweet darling boy. You've got a lot to learn, but your heart's in the right place. I'd hate to leave you jaded. I decided that honesty was the best course of action. No more tiptoeing around the issue. It's a lovely gift, but I'm worried you're not eating enough to grow big and strong. That's why I want you to spend your money on snacks for yourself, okay?
Okay, got it.
Way to go, Zeta. So much for being upfront with him. I'm glad you understand. Now why don't we dig into this yummy treat together?
Sure, I'd be happy to feed you.
Gah, why, you conniving little... My hands work just fine, thank you very much.
Phooey. From now on, I'm gonna prove that we're meant for each other.
The talk I had with Vaughn yesterday only intensified his resolve. I asked him what he had in mind.
First, I'll get to know you better, Zeta.
A little late for that, but at least he was thinking in the right direction.
Let me see. Okay, first question. What's your type of guy?
Subtlety wasn't Vaughn's strongest point. How to be compatible with your partner is something you should figure out for yourself.
Huh? But I don't know how to do that. It's faster just to ask.
This kid.
Do you like strong guys?
You could say that. I prefer someone who knows how to fend for themselves. Means I don't have to worry about them as much.
Well, that's perfect then.
Vaughn stood up straight and tall and proudly puffed out his chest.
I'm still in the middle of sword training, but I'm the best out of all the kids in the class. Even the bigger ones.
Already outclassing the older kids, huh? Not bad, not bad. I wonder how I stacked up when I was his age.
Now do you love me?
Not even close.
Phooey.
His reactions cracked me up. There was never a dull moment with this kid.
There has to be a way for me to win your heart.
I'm sorry, but that was just too precious. I didn't mean to laugh, but his frustration caught me off guard. He was trying so hard against the odds to win me over. If we were around the same age, things might have been different.
I don't care about being precious. I care about you.
The more he sulked, the harder it became to hold in my giggles. Sorry. I patted his head in an attempt to lighten the mood, but he wasn't having it. Bahamut saved me. This kid was so sweet he was gonna give me cavities. The air in Seed Hollow that morning was electric. I hadn't felt that amped up in a good while. Time to get this show on the road.
Roger that.
Vasaraga had met up with me right on schedule. I sucked in a lungful of the morning chill to calm my nerves.
Good morning, Zeta. Good morning, Vasaraga.
Morning. You're up awfully early today.
Where are you guys going?
He must have sensed something big was in the works. The concern in his voice was clear as day. A couple of rough customers challenged us to a serious fight.
I want to come too. Can I, please?
It wasn't like him to try to tag along. He knew better than that. No can do, little man. This isn't a game.
But I've been practicing my sword swings every day. I can help you beat them!
Of all the days he could have picked to be fussy, why did it have to be today?
Sparring and actual combat are worlds apart. Pride goeth before destruction.
It was obvious from the frown on Vaughn's face that he wasn't going to take no for an answer. I need you to be good and listen to us, all right? We left Vaughn behind and made a beeline for Seed Hollow Castle. We stepped into its great hall, where Magliel and her sword veil were already waiting.
Allow me to extend my utmost gratitude for taking the time to indulge my invitation.
Can the formalities. I came here to throw down, not listen to boring speeches.
I didn't think the castle would be okay with us doing battle within its walls.
Well, no one else was using the hall. Let's just say those who helped with the castle's restoration are afforded special privileges.
This woman, for all her pomp and circumstance, was no joke of a warrior.
I was curious as to whether your weapons are deserving of their legend. My fellowship prides itself with collecting only the most prized armaments.
Ha! I knew there had to be more to this call-out.
I'll get straight to the point. We are interested in purchasing your seal weapons. Allow me to appraise their performance during our little skirmish.
In other words, she was making us an offer we couldn't refuse. Even though this isn't a fight to the death, don't come crying to me when you get your asses handed to you. Magliel didn't respond. She simply smirked and an arsenal of magic swords materialized around her. I tightened my grip on our vest and took a deep breath. I thought back to all the times Vasaraga and I had cheated death. It made me feel invincible. This victory belonged to us.
Let's do this, Seda.
Hell yeah! The words were barely out of my mouth before I was leaping into the fray.
Well, well. What curious guests we have. Now then, may I have the first dance?
Say what you will about her, but she's got plenty of style.
Don't get distracted. She's no ordinary foe. All right.
Got him! Infinite! Got him! Raider! Oh yeah! One more! Say goodnight! Infinite Wonder!
Pilot Shadow! You can't stop!
Keep up! Oh yeah! Arfet! One more!
Well, that didn't do much.
Because her magic swords play offense and defense. We need to smash them! Over!
A parting kiss.
One more! Show him who's boss! Got
Good.
Keep up!
You're performing marvelously.
Oh, really? I haven't even gotten started yet.
That makes two of us.
No place to
Now
hide.
that we've limbered up, what say we ratchet up the tempo?
Oh, yeah!
Please, allow us to assist!
Stand down. I will not tolerate such shameful tactics.
Hey, they want in, no skin off my back. That way we can really cut loose. Infinite
All
Wonder!
right, then. Your words, not mine.
Keep up!
Behold the quintessence of the sword veil.
Just my luck.
Oh, yeah!
Require impeccable hospitality.
You're through! Come on, our bad gun!
No active order.
One more!
I beg your pardon.
Got him! Keep up! Let the rain fall! On my mark! Let's go, our best! Resolute strike! It's our turn now! Say good... You're dead! Perfect!
Yeah.
Lights out! Infinite
Maybe
Wonder!
time for the curtain to fall.
So you're starting to feel it too, huh?
My. Are you two ready to throw in the towel?
What a joke! If you want to test me, then let's go!
Hook, line, and sinker.
Hammer forward,
Not bad.
Keep up! Oh yeah! Say goodnight!
Pistol ready.
Break the limit!
Great Google!
Rain of Tiana!
Carved by divinity. Seduce it!
Our back!
You can't stop me!
Sharpened by legend. Dive on! The stage is set for the Big Bang.
One more! Keep up!
Good.
If only I could have held out a bit longer. What a shame.
Amazing! Hold on, Spawn! What are you doing here? I'm sorry.
That was a sight to see. Thank you both for exhibiting the beauty of Arves and Grinnoth.
You're not so bad yourself. Most people would have lost to us by now. Phew. Easy peasy. You'd better have a good reason for sneaking in here, little man.
I didn't want you getting hurt. That's all.
Oh, why didn't you stay put like I told you to? I said this wasn't a game. There's no excuse for being a distraction on the battlefield. Every swordsman knows that, even rookies. Vaughn fell silent, realizing he couldn't argue back. He just stood there with his head hanging down. Crap. Was I too hard on him? But here's the thing about warfare. If you're all valor and no discretion, you're gonna end up in a coffin real fast.
I messed up. I'm sorry.
Vaughn looked so miserable. It was like watching a kid choke down bitter medicine. What could I say to soften the blow?
You made a mistake, but your intentions were true. It takes courage to own up to one's error and apologize.
Vasaraga gently clapped the boy on the shoulder with his rugged mitt. Vaughn quickly perked up after that. Vasaraga's like a giant teddy bear when it comes to kids. I can count on him to smooth things over when I get too preachy. No arguments there. Oh well, what's done is done. Me chewing you out isn't gonna change the past. Thanks, Vasaraga. I needed that save.
Hold on, Zeta. Don't move.
He reached up and applied a cool, damp salve onto my right cheek.
I wasn't lying when I said I was worried about you. See? You did get injured.
Hey, even the pros get banged up every now and then. It's not really an injury per se, more like a scratch. I'm amazed you even spotted it.
Just so you know, this medicine was made from the ingredients you collected. The hospital director was really happy for your help.
Sheesh. When was the last time someone coddled me this much over a tiny cut? I had to admit it felt nice. Thank you, Vaughn.
I think we're about done here. Come on, Vaughn. I'll take you home.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say Vaughn had taken a shine to the big guy. It wasn't hard to see why, given the way Vasaraga treated him with kid gloves and all.
You have my thanks for giving me a taste of Arves and Grinnoth. You both handled those weapons with skill and finesse.
Damn right we did. You didn't even make us break a sweat.
Is that so?
I got the sense that this weapons nut wasn't actually invested in the fight itself. She just wanted an excuse to research Arves, and maybe to brag about her own collection. Kind of funny how just talking about tools of destruction sends her into a frenzy. Then again, I get hyped about testing my combat skills, so who am I to judge? By the way, I think we deserve a bit of compensation for our troubles.
Oh dear, how silly of me. You're right. I must pay the price for losing the challenge. I suppose I could bid farewell to my precious, beloved Gaibolg.
Oh, come on. Don't make me out to be the bad guy. How about this? Why don't you treat me to the tastiest dessert this Skydom has to offer? Magliel's frown vanished in the blink of an eye, and her tears dried up like magic, though I'm not even sure she was crying in the first place.
Why, 'twould be my pleasure. Did you know there is a hidden gem of a bistro that serves pancakes topped with rare fruits right here in Seed Hollow?
Shut up! What kind of rare fruits are we talking about? She was literally bouncing with excitement.
Cultivated by only the greenest of green thumbs. Each luxurious piece of nature's candy is a crowning achievement of sweetness. The cream of the crop. You simply must taste it to believe the capital's best kept secret.
Huh. So you do have other hobbies outside of weapon collecting. Alrighty, you're on. I'll be in touch about dates and stuff. As I left the castle hall behind, I saw that Vasaraga and Vaughn hadn't gotten much of a head start on me. I ran to catch up to them, all the while wondering, does Vasaraga like pancakes? And as strange as it sounds, out of all the missions I'd wrapped up lately, I hadn't felt a greater sense of accomplishment than in that moment.
Hello there.
After the showdown with Magliel, it was a while before I saw Vaughn again. Hey, little man. I was wondering when you were gonna pop in. How you holding up these days? His hair had grown out a bit since we last talked. I had no idea that much time had already passed. He seemed downcast, as if he had something heavy on his mind. Maybe I could get him to open up about it. Is there something you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, how should I put this? I like you, Zeta.
He was trying to keep his embarrassment at bay, but the way he fumbled his words betrayed his emotions. Thanks. Is that all you wanted to tell me?
No, there's more. I'm gonna get stronger. As strong as you and Vasaraga.
He had a deadly serious look in his eye. He must have thought long and hard about this. Is that so? Here was a side of Vaughn I had never seen before. More earnest. More mature. I felt a swell of pride as a smile crossed my face.
Yup. That's why I'm calling off all marriage proposals for now.
Oh? Why the sudden 180?
I just think it'd be better for us to stop seeing each other for a while.
Huh.
It's going to be tough on me, too. But I think we both need time apart.
I did not see this coming. No, don't talk like that. I refuse to let anyone get the wrong idea about us.
But I can't marry you yet.
There wasn't gonna be a wedding anyway. My point is you and I were never.
I'm sorry, Zeta. It's not you. It's me.
Stop! Don't even think about saying another word. He wasn't listening to me anymore. He'd already written his own headcanon. But you know what? It was sort of nice to be doted on. For what it's worth, I like to think I taught him a few life lessons, too. I'd forgotten what it was like to view the world through the innocent eyes of a child. Hanging out with Vaughn took me back to a simpler time. Thanks for jogging my memory, little man. Funny thing is, dwelling on the past isn't my style. Not at all. Living in the now is my MO. But one thing's for sure. I'll never forget the time I spent with Vaughn.
Dear Zeta, I'm doing well. How about you? Thanks to all the hours I put into sword practice, the dojo accepted me as a disciple. I'm on my way to becoming a man worthy of your hand. I'm sorry you have to wait, but someday, I'll take the stone you gave me to Fulka and have it made into a ring. Take care of yourself. Sincerely, Vaughn. P.S. I don't mind if you see other people if it's just a fling.
You cheeky little brat. You just keep doing your thing, Vaughn. It's funny how you don't miss someone until they're gone. Regardless, I was happy to hear that Vaughn was doing well for himself. It's okay to see other people, huh? That's a good one. It's such a nice day today. The breeze was subtle, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Just as I was beginning to take in the morning calm, a lone figure appeared on the deck of the Grand Cipher.
Greetings, Zeta. Are you ready for the best pancakes of your life?
You better believe I was ready. Nothing gets between me and my dessert. Now let's just say when I arrive in Seed Hollow, and a certain lovelorn puppy dog comes sprinting over to propose to me, my answer to him would be, "In your dreams, little man." Today is my first day off in forever, and I'm gonna party it up.
And that's where this new chapter in my life begins. Me, as the new Mr. Fix-It. After clearing up some requests, I thought I'd earn some, I don't know, respect, honor, from the crew alliance Rafale. But it seems you can't buy forgiveness so easily.
Ahem. So I believe we're all aware of Avia's assault on Seed Hollow.
She looked straight at me as she spoke. The actions of the pilgrims, myself included, had left a number of locals without homes. There was a plan to resettle volunteers in Tempio. Give them a fresh start.
They're going to be out in the open, moving, building. This includes children and the elderly. Your job would be to protect the settlers until their homes are up. Trustworthy Skyfarers only.
Hey, don't push yourself. You can sit this one out, you know.
Rackham lay a hand on my shoulder, but I shook my head at him. We take it. This is right. I couldn't stay stuck in the past forever. I needed to move on. I needed to help those I hurt move on. It wasn't an easy choice, though. Our patron, the family who was bankrolling this mission, didn't know I'd worked for Avia. And I didn't know if I had the guts to tell them. Yeah, I know. How am I supposed to atone for crimes I'm too scared to admit? Still, one step at a time. Too much of a coward to take responsibility? Fine. I could at least start by repairing some of the damage I'd done. I'd make sure the settlers built in peace. And if one of them happened to find out about my past, then that would be that. I'd accept whatever punishment they saw fit to give me. It didn't matter where I hid or how far I ran. Retribution would find me eventually.
The ride to Tempeal was uneventful. The proposed relocation site was set near an old storehouse by the river. There was water here, and the building could be repurposed for homes. The migrants dragged their feet and often looked back towards Seed Hollow. Most had been born and raised there. We'd been hired as bodyguards, but for the time being at least, all was quiet. Just the sound of wind and running water. Patrols didn't take long, and only 1 or 2 people had to go at a time. The rest of us found other ways to keep busy. Carrying supplies, repairing the storehouse, prepping materials, cooking. Whatever needed doing, we did it. While the adults were building the new body of the village, the children, they were forming the new heart of it. It's amazing how kids can find happiness in just about anything. The world's fresh and new to them. Down by the river, they discovered unfamiliar plants and bugs with funny shapes. In the old storehouse, they looked for hidden treasure and lost stories. Sure, sometimes they got in the way of work and were scolded, but you could tell the adults appreciated having the kids around. It gave them hope. Io and Lyria were their self-appointed babysitters. They called it serious work, but it looked like fun and games to me. Those kids didn't have a care in the world. Well, all except one of them. There was a girl who would always glance my way, pretty much from day one of this job. I say girl, but she was a Harvan, so her age was hard to pinpoint. But she played with the kids more than she worked, so I assumed. Anyways, turned out she was a teenager. That would explain the looks she gave me. I don't think any kid could have been filled with such fear, such anger, such hate. Didn't take much to guess why she had a grudge against me. But she made sure I knew. It happened one day when I was on my way to the storehouse to stack some freight. She was in my path, and since I had a load of boxes in my arms, I almost bowled her over.
Don't come closer!
Her voice was loud and shrill. I won't hurt you. I promise.
Yeah, right. Everyone else might have forgotten you, but I haven't. We're here because of you.
Her name was Shiralu, 14 years old. Parents volunteered to come on this resettlement mission after they had lost their livelihoods back in Seed Hollow. She had reason to hate me. During this whole exchange, I felt strangely relieved. No more waiting in the shadows, trying to work up the courage to atone. Atonement had come for me.
Why are you here? To take our new homes?
Never. I only wished I were better with words. To convey even a fraction of the guilt I felt. To give her even the slightest comfort. Not a day goes by where I don't regret what I've done. I wanted to tell her I was ready to repent, but my voice came out flat, insincere.
I don't believe that for a second! You're a liar! A liar and...
But she was cut off by warning bells. I raced back to the settlement center, where I found Rackham.
Goblin sighting! Get everyone inside the gates, pronto!
His voice rose up over the cacophony.
An attack! But my father just left for the storehouse!
Remain here. I'll find him. I left without waiting for a response.
Come on! Just like we practiced! Into the gate!
We'll handle the goblins.
Everyone's safe. Should be. Why we're here, isn't it? Now come on, we got goblin tail to kick.
Perish!
There's more here!
They're trying the pincer maneuver. Vern, you watch over the settlers.
Got it! Leave it to me!
do this. I see. There's so many. Where they all come from?
Heard this place used to be Monster Central. Guess these are the stragglers.
Bad news, guys! Some girl named Shiraloo has gone missing! No! What is she?
Don't assume anything, Lyria. First, we secure the area, then we start a search.
It's over! Isn't that the Harvard girl?
Do you know something?
Great! We'll get the search party started. Right after these messages. Stay down.
Hey! I heard Shiraloo's near the windmill!
Yeah, that sounds about right. She was worried about her dad.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go! Heads up! There's another goblin band over here!
What? Shirolu, where did you go?
Focus on the fight at hand. Here they come!
Watch out!
Sure.
Yeah! Nothing to it! Keep your heads in the game! Hey!
Right.
I'm always ready to go! Dragon Blade! Is someone there? Shiraloo!
Don't worry, we're here to help. Do you think you can stay hidden for a bit?
Yeah, I can do that. Thank you.
There's more? Out of my way!
Wait, I recognize that voice. Found your weakness! Here we go! Let him do this! Great work! Yeah, that was bad. And that was our final form! On it!
Looks like we're all clear. You can come out now, Shiraloo.
It was a close call, but we managed to find Shiraloo in time.
Everything's going to be okay now. Thank you.
Lyria ran over to the girl. I don't think Shiraloo was injured, but her face was pale, and her lips were tight. It had to have been me. The reason she looked so pained. If I hadn't forced her from her home, she wouldn't have almost lost her life. I turned and walked a few steps. I'll secure the way back. Bring her when she feels better.
Wait, Id.
Shiraloo needed good people around her. What did I ever bring but suffering?
Yeah? Yes, can I help you?
The day after the goblin attack, I had an unlikely visitor. Shiraloo.
You didn't have to save me, but thank you.
That took me completely off guard. I searched wildly in my mind for a response, but all that came out was, I was just trying to do the right thing.
Look, Avia almost destroyed Seed Hollow, and I won't ever forgive you for that. Do you know how many people were hurt?
I'm sorry. Like I said, words, not my strong point. Is there any way I can make amends? I will do anything. She looked at me for a moment, her lips working, searching for an answer. Her eyes slowly welled up with tears.
Can you bring back the dead? I didn't think so.
If I could trade my life for even one I'd taken, I'd have done it in a heartbeat. But she was right. Those people were gone, and never coming back.
I can't talk about this now. Maybe I shouldn't have come. Have a good... goodbye.
She turned and walked away. Her voice shook the entire time we were talking. With anger, I guessed. And grief. But she'd still forced herself to thank me. It hit me then how kind she was. If Avia had never existed, she might have never known the corrosive influence of hate. Our crimes went beyond the people we killed. Even those that survived, they now had to live with the trauma and sleepless nights. It was all so heavy. I was beginning to see that I'd never be able to atone. Not if I had 100,000 years and all the power in the skies. We now knew the settlement was a prime target for goblins. We'd cleared out a band of them, but there would always be more. We decided to tighten our defenses. More frequent patrols with bigger teams. I was quick to volunteer for the first shift. Lyria, Vern, and the captain came along.
Hey, we noticed things are kind of tense between you and Shiralu. Do you want to talk about it?
Lyria kept pace beside me, peering up into my face. What's there to say? My past was for me to solve. I didn't need to make the crew part of my guilt.
She knew, didn't she, that you were once part of Avia?
All right, fine. Who was I kidding? No one kept secrets with these three around. Someone was going to find out eventually. Just don't worry about it. But Vern and Lyria pushed back.
We're buds now, right? Your problems are my problems.
Exactly. We can talk to Shiralu together. This is your chance to make things right.
You know, sometimes when you feel lost in a hostile world, that's all it takes to put things into perspective. A few kind words. Okay. But there's no half-assing it. Whatever Shiralu asks, we give it to her. Do you understand? I was offered no answer, but their eyes told me enough. Sins are only burned away through atonement. This was the way things had to be. We walked for a while in silence, until finally the captain nodded. And I was told the crew would do what was right. Days passed, and the demeanor of the settlers when they were around me began to change. Bright eyes turned into cold stares. Open hands clenched into fists, smiles morphed into sneers. They had begun avoiding me, too. It was easy enough to guess why. On an afternoon, buried under gray clouds, the rest of the crew gathered around me in a show of solidarity. I'd recommend keeping your distance. I'm a known criminal now. I stared ahead of me into empty space. Maybe Shiraloo had told the others about me. Maybe she hadn't. What did it matter? The truth was bound to come out eventually. This was justice.
But Id, you didn't hurt anyone because you wanted to. You were being controlled.
The captain knelt beside me and pointed out excuses I'd rehearsed in my mind 1,000,000 times before. And as a child, I couldn't have known the difference between right and wrong. That as an adult, I was blinded by my love for Lilith. That in choosing to turn against my family for the sake of the skies, I had sacrificed the most. Yeah, I had misguided intentions. So what? If that were a real defense, we wouldn't have any villains, would we? I deserve to be judged for my actions, and my actions alone. They all fell silent after that. Shiraloo found me during one of my patrols. She stood in front of me, fidgeting with the cloth of her skirt.
I'm sorry. I only told one person and then somehow everyone found out.
With all due respect, save your apologies. Looking back, I realize I should have chosen my words more carefully. Something like, you don't have to apologize. All you told them was the truth. You know, something a person with a heart would have said.
No, you don't get it!
Yeah, she had a right to be upset. Only I could have sounded so accusing when what I really meant to say was, it wasn't your fault.
Just tell me one thing. Did the church really brainwash you? And did you really have to fight your own mother?
What? Where do you hear about that?
Your friend told me. The captain.
Of course. The captain promised me the crew would do what was right. Guess that meant giving my whole backstory to Shiraloo.
Anyways, it doesn't matter where I heard it. What matters is whether it's true or not. So...
why did she need to know? Would my good intentions bring back the dead? Shiraloo knew the answer to that as well as I did. My past is no excuse.
So it is true. You're a victim. Just like us.
No. I was the perpetrator. I had to be the perpetrator. How else could I explain the guilt that sat on my chest? It made it hard to breathe. But before I could say any of this, I was interrupted by the shrill ringing of warning bells. What's going on? Just as before, Rackham was making rounds to explain the situation.
It looks bad. Our supply runners are under goblin attack.
Supply routes were the lifeline of any settlement. They needed to be cleared immediately. I'll head out now. Shiraloo, find your family and get to safety.
Okay, I won't leave the village this time.
Good. I met up with the others, and we left for battle.
Well, thank goodness you're here! If we lose these supplies, we lose the village! You'll have to help us! No problemo. Goblin Hunter's my middle name.
Less talking, more fighting!
Reinforcements. I think they still had hordes in reserve.
This looks bad! More goblins are headed for the village!
What? Now? We can't abandon the supplies.
I'll go back. Can you handle things here?
Sure can. You just worry about getting to the village in time, hero boy.
All right, Ed, let's roll! Come on, bud. We're almost there.
Okay.
What the? They've overrun the place!
There's less than I thought. Perfect.
Where are those Skyfarers? I'm so scared.
Someone's here! It's Id!
Stay inside. Don't come out until I say so.
You're planning to fight them alone? But you can't win! You've never seen Id when he's serious. He'll be fine!
What's going to happen to us?
It's obvious! Perish!
You know that Abia robbed us of our old homes. But right now, it's fighting to protect our new ones.
Perish!
All I wanted was to protect people. I know I've made mistakes in the past. But I have changed. And I'll prove it!
He's facing all those monsters. For us.
But if it weren't for him, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Oh, crap! Now I'm getting worried!
It's over. I can do this!
No! More goblins are coming!
Don't give in, Id!
Why are you cheering him on?
Listen to me. It might have done some terrible things in the past, but look at the person who's out there right now. He's risking everything to save us. Is that what a villain does?
Unbound! Perish!
You're right. We'll never forgive the Church of Abia, but Id's no longer one of them.
He helped build this village, and now he's protecting it. That means he's become one of us.
I believe in Id. He's our last hope.
Please, Ed. Pull through. We're counting on you.
Protect them.
I have to! Eat this! Don't mind me!
Whoa, that's insane! He powered up!
I've seen too many homes burned in my life.
I won't let it happen here!
You can do it, Ed.
I'm cheering for you, Ed! Don't go off the too far!
Miss me.
You're finished!
Playtime's over.
I'll destroy you! You're through!
Try to hit you!
Die! It's 90 seconds! See the bridge. You're finished!
I still can't believe he's out there. All alone.
Come on, Id! You got this!
See the bridge.
Eat this!
Not bad. My sword cut clean through the last goblin. It's over. As I pulled my blade clear of its flesh, it trailed an arc of blood through the air. I felt the settlers behind me, watching, judging. You see, I thought, this is the kind of monster I am.
I can't believe it! You did it, Id! You really did it!
Shirlow broke the silence with the cheer. For me, I had to say something. The goblins are gone. All at once, the migrants rushed me. Hands took hold of me and lifted me into the air.
Those were fearsome odds, but you pulled through!
You saved us. Thank you, Id.
These people knew I had destroyed their homes. So why were they rallying to me?
Sorry I'm late. What'd I miss?
The crew was now filing back into the village. They gazed up at me open-mouthed. I'm sure I looked back at them with pretty much the same expression.
Oh, nothing. Just Id single-handedly annihilating a goblin army.
The settlers finally put me down and began telling exaggerated accounts of the battle. I tried to take the opportunity to slink off and find conversation with something more my level. Maybe a tree or something.
Hey, just where do you think you're sneaking? Is our resident bad boy feeling shy?
I shot Rackham my nastiest look, but only because he had guessed the truth.
You should be proud, Id. You saved everyone here.
Come on, Lyria. It had to be obvious that I wanted to be left to myself. Truth was, I didn't think I deserved all this praise. So I saved a small settlement. Great. Guess we'd forgotten I've also raised entire cities. The captain strolled up to me and, after elbowing me in the ribs, asked, "How was it to fight for the good guys?" That, I had an easy answer to. Not bad, I said. Not bad at all.
Yes, can I help you? Right. Have a nice day.
Okay. What can I do you for? Walk around. I just got some rare stuff. Ranger Dahlia badges for special treasure. Appreciate the support.
Got an order? Sigil enhancement? Got it. Good. Want your weapons tempered? Let's kick it up a notch. I'll unlock its hidden potential. Always aim for the top. Come back sometime.
Oh dear, right there. Hello there. Here it is. Would you take this one? Good luck out there.
There's way more where that came from.
You're not feeling our hit!
Perish! But you know! Kill!
No time to celebrate.
Let's keep it up! Got a point! Okay, got ya!
You know your stuff. Zeta!
Nowhere to hide! Revolution! Yo, I have just the spell!
It's over!
Captain! Yep, here goes! Shine as one! Tide of chaos!
It's over!
We are! Here we are! That should be the last of them, which means quest complete!
Good work. You won this day.
The receptionist at the quest counters? Yes, can I help you? Here it is. I can make the arrangements at once. It's in your hands
And
now.
there's a huge stack of thank you letters. All for it. Guess that proves it's got...
Keep up.
All right. We've just got to grab what the client asked for. You're making good progress. At this rate, you'll finish the quest no problem.
Ready yourselves.
We're not in a rush yet, but I'm sure our client wouldn't mind a little hustle. It was great!
Never enough! It's over!
They're wide open.
No problem, you goons!
We'll beat the next one even harder.
I've got you covered. You go this up, Pio. Clock's ticking, buddy. The client's expecting us back soon, so we've got to hurry. Hey, we're running really short on time. You trying to milk every second? Wow, you're one heck of a sleuth. Looks like we're in great shape. It's about time we headed back and showed the client what you found.
Well, that's one more down.
Come to view the requests?
The morning after the second goblin strike, the sun rose on a quiet scene. The river glinted gold. The grass stirred in the breeze. The migrants came with our breakfast and a peace offering.
Avia attacked our homeland. We'll never forget that pain. But you proved yourself a true ally yesterday.
Everyone saw you risk your life for us. You've earned our trust.
They seemed to be leading up to something, so I asked with my usual eloquence. And...
Well, if it's all right with you, we'd like you to stay and protect our fledgling village.
I could not believe my ears. No. I'm not the person for the job. I've committed atrocities.
Ed.
Lyria's voice sounded from behind me. I turned to see her smiling. You're right. She hadn't said anything, but I got the message. I had spent these past few weeks looking for punishment, hoping it would somehow numb my guilt. How was my pain supposed to help anyone? I had become the new Mr. Fix-It. I was going to dedicate my life to helping more people than I hurt. That was the best. The only way to atone.
What's wrong, Ed? You look like you've gone into brooding overdrive.
What? No, I'm happy.
Buddy, you ever heard of a smile?
At this, the crowd laughed. I raised the corner of my lips, as if testing them. This made the crowd laugh harder.
Sorry to interrupt, but could I have a word?
It was one of the soldiers from the supply force.
As some of you may already know, we weren't only responsible for transporting supplies, we were also tasked with assessing the resettlement effort. And I think it's no stretch to say the local monster presence is deadly. I'll have to ask the higher-ups to consider relocating.
Shiraloo answered before I could.
Not a problem. We've got a beast-slaying Mr. Fix-It on our side.
As the local Mr. Fix-It, I've had a finger in every pie. From furniture repair to monster extermination to marriage counseling, I've seen it all. Though I admit the counseling did not come naturally to me. Still, I wanted to help in any way I could. I owed the skies that much. A new request came in today. From an old friend.
Id, was it my imagination, or did I see you crack a smile?
Lyria materialized at my shoulder and tried to read the forms in my hand. Yeah, work's been nice. I handed her the papers. And there, written in plain view, was the name of our latest patron. Shiraloo.
What do you think? I can make the arrangements at once. It's in your hands now.
We got spirits, and not the kind that want to
Let's begin.
Hey! There's enemies on the way! We can't let them trash the hallowed ground! If they want to fight, they've got one!
Just what I needed.
Infinite Wonder!
Get called!
Jerk's trying to hit you from far away! Watch out for the shoot! Dragon Ray!
Take this!
Watch out for the shooters! They just keep coming! But we'll show them who's boss! That's work! This'll hurt! Infinite Wonder! Jerk's trying to hit you from far...
Curses!
That's worse! Rain of Fury! Found your weakness! Jerk's trying to hit you from far away! Watch out for the shooters!
Back off!
Not liking the look of this, but don't let it intimidate ya. Watch out for the shooters! Rain and Geyser!
Sure.
Let's go! You said it! Nice, Id!
Yeah.
Watch out!
over! On the offensive!
I'll get him!
I like what I see.
Yep! Let's blast the next one, too!
I see through you.
Let's go!
Hurt.
Our best! You rock! Aw, you noticed! More way! Dragon Wave! Great Dad! How many of them are there? Don't let them swarm you!
Let's go! We better stay focused.
You don't have to tell me twice.
You got it! Ready to go!
Thanks.
Perish!
Someone stop them! We're not doing great, but we can still turn this around. Finished.
That went well.
You got that right. Obviously. Watch out for the shooter. Hey, that worked. Watch out for the shooter. Just a little bit high. Yes. Just like that.
Let's keep it up.
Bring it on. Hey, that worked. Ready or not. Yeah! We did it!
Not bad.
Come to view the requests? What do you think? This one, yes? Please be careful.
Owen never got the chance to finish this mission. Good timing.
Get back!
Perfect. Right.
You're dead after you! Perfect!
Of course.
You got that right! Keep it up!
You're mine! It's over!
Follow me! Yeah, all set! Got it! Hell yeah! Watch out! Just like those support parts! Wow!
No time to celebrate.
Yep.
I've had it.
Let's move. Yes.
Zeta!
Nowhere to hide. Have no equal.
Okay, here goes.
Tempest Flare. Eel. Yep.
It's over!
Shine as one. Tide of chaos. Kick their ass.
It carries!
Let the rain fall over You got it!
You do this crew proud.
That's the goal.
Heads up, guys! Watch his movements carefully.
Hard to move.
Great timing.
Come on, take this!
Captain, you saved the day!
Huh. Kept up with me.
Obviously.
Let's do
You're not the
this.
only badass in this crew.
Right.
Yeah, right behind this! Whoa!
You can pick your jaw off the ground. Say your prayers. Zeta!
Nowhere to hide. Have no equal. Eel.
I have just the spell! Captain! Yep, here goes! Watch out!
Shine as one. Tide of chaos. Hell yeah, we are.
Okay, we are.
It's over already? Boy, you're on a roll.
Pack it up. I know this is Roland's journal, but I'm sure he'd be all right with us reading it.
What can I do you for? Never hurts to have some backup, right?
I'm late.
Appreciate the support.
Good.
Yes, can I help you?
Foul smell fills the air as my dissolving limbs grow black.
Protect the captain! Get him somewhere safe!
No, leave me. Run.
As long as you're alive, we can rebuild. We promised, didn't we? Our lives are in your hands.
You're not allowed to make this sacrifice for me. Please, save yourselves. I'll never forget the memory of that day. My conceit put us in that mess, but I was the only one who made it. After all the good times we shared, after all the pain, they would have to live on in my memory. Once I could pick myself back up again, I began to temper my body. I swore I'd never let the same tragedy repeat itself. It wasn't long before this husk became resilient, augmented and conditioned to withstand even lightning. I no longer felt physical pain, or much of anything at all. It was preferable that way. I could be a shield to protect others, to protect them from the same tragedy that befell my crew. Having lost my place in the world, I found a home in the society, and quickly became contractor to the seal weapon, Great Scythe Grynoth. My missions were simple: hunt primal beasts or exterminate the foe. I did my job so that I could keep people safe, to aid them in their time of need. But despite my best efforts, I still failed. I was powerless when Vern was kidnapped right in front of me. Worst of all, I could do nothing but watch as our hopeful new recruit was cut down. What good was I when I couldn't even protect a single one of my comrades? Maybe the real mistake was believing I could do good in the first place. I joined the society to protect others, which sounds noble on paper, but in reality, it was all for my own sake. I'm the reason that my old crew, my family, found an early grave. It was only right that I spend the rest of my meager life in atonement. At least, that's the excuse I told myself. In truth, another part of me was deluded into thinking I could free myself from the guilt, but only if I could change into another person. Turns out that being immune to physical torture does nothing to protect your heart from psychological torment. Speaking of mental suffering, not long after I joined the society, Ilsa assigned Zeta as my partner. The old me would have worked with her just fine, but too much had changed. Her blunt honesty rubbed me the wrong way. A man can only take so much random commentary before he goes insane. Even Ilsa called her Pupper, which was kinder than what I had in mind back in those days. But it was an apt name, considering all of her barking. I didn't care about forging a real partnership with Zeta. Every time we had a mission together, I just wanted to finish it as fast as possible. But it backfired. Whenever I pushed her away, she pushed back 10 times harder. She was determined to know me. I would have never admitted it out loud, but I was afraid. After all, the closer you are with someone, the harder it is to cope with their loss. As for why I joined the captain's crew, well, I had my reasons. The captain's father was awaiting our crew in Estalucia, and that meant duking it out with primals and gathering sky map pieces along the way. The captain was strong and humble, had a knack for overcoming hardship. With leadership like that, I knew this crew could actually make it. That's not to say they were running a flawless operation. The way I saw it, they had two big problems. Vern and Lyria, the Red Dragon and the Girl in Blue. It's true they were core members of the crew, but they possessed powers which could represent grave consequences for the skies. Should one overflow with astral energy, or the other absorb enough primal power, they would be erased and herald the destruction of everything as we know it. It was possible the captain could reach Estalucia without any sacrifices, but I wasn't the type to bet on fate. These kids needed a shield. This body of mine would protect them all, no matter what came to pass. At least, that's what I intended. During the fight against the Moon Dwellers, I lost myself to the Atomagod Grinoth's power and raised my scythe against the crew. As pathetic as it was, I became the very threat I swore to protect them from. That was why I prepared a way to stop my own heart. I wouldn't hurt my comrades again. If I couldn't protect anyone, then the least I could do was make sure I could do no more harm.
What are you playing at, Vasaraga? Is this your penance after what happened to Lester?
I was fine with sacrificing myself, as long as I could save someone else. A part of me even believed I deserved such a fate.
I hate when you act alone. You could have come to me for help first, you know? We're partners, damn it!
I couldn't feel pain, but somewhere inside I felt like a wound had split me in two. It took me far too long to realize that it hurt my comrades to see me suffering. That I had chosen to run instead of face my fears.
Did you hear me, you big lug? You're not gonna drop dead on us. Not on my watch.
My partner's instincts were sharp enough to cut right through me. But it was her words, honest and blunt, which shattered the walls around my cowardly heart. The pain I should have dealt with a long time ago came spilling out, but this time it was accompanied by a burning desire. We're going to survive this, together. And that's the way it's been ever since. Early in the morning, before the crew was to head out for a request, I headed to the forest surrounding Folca to conduct a test on Grinoth. On the way, I was stopped by the sight of a young girl watering the vegetable garden by her home, the wet plants sparkling beneath the morning sun. But something felt off about the scene. In contrast to the bright garden, a dark, foul mist seemed to surround the girl. Upon noticing me, she scrambled back into her house. The miasma clung to her as she fled. Sorry, lass. Shouldn't have snuck up on you like that. But that odd mist looked too real to be an illusion, and yet it didn't seem to be doing any harm. I decided to keep an eye out. After all, Folca was bustling with the influx of refugees from Tempeal. And there was no telling what could happen in strange times such as these. Grinoth ripped through the side as I lowered the... At least, whoever it was, I know you're turning around. Her expression, the flood, Mr.
I only want...
The girl, it was a feeling, but before fear, sorry. Need to get...
Okay.
Keep close. Maybe it was just... Time to go home. Should be this way. didn't feel like an earthquake to me. Path's blocked by a boulder.
Weird. It wasn't here before.
Let's look around. Someone's hungry. Stand back. I'll take care of it. Battalions of fear! Roger, I'll observe for now.
You should run. You're not worth risking your life for.
I said I'd bring you home. Besides, I've faced worse than this before. You will know pain. Face the end! You can't stop fear!
You actually defeated that huge beast by yourself.
Good, you're not hurt. Now, what do we do about that boulder?
I know another way back. It'll take longer, but
Fine by me. You take the lead.
over here.
I feel eyes on us. We're not alone.
Zombies!
I've got them. Come if you dare! Raw equipped! That's that. Ready to go?
Yeah. What is that? You look exactly like a
Try
reaper.
and stop. I guess I'm no slouch with the scythe. I show no mercy. Roger, I'll observe for now. So, what's this whole obsession with death about? You don't have to answer, but just remember, once you die, that's it. Don't be so hasty to throw your life
Are you sure you weren't a reaper?
Even if I was, it's not your time yet. Not today. Upon arrival, how could all the... When I look, whatever...
Okay.
She took it when I... Yeah, I spent a few...
Come to view the request? Here it is. This one, yes? It's in your hands now.
Maybe he left behind a clue.
You're mine! They're wide open.
All right then!
Nice finish.
Let's you expect any less?
Back off! It's over! I see through you! Perfect! It's over!
They're crackling?
They're going to pay.
No place to hide!
Break through!
Let's go!
Fine.
I'll wipe them out! Come on, you got more than that, don't you? Just wait and see.
Try to heal up fast!
That heals for ya. I owe ya. Leave it to me. Overdrive.
You now! Get back! Say your prayers. Zeta!
Nowhere to hide. Heal. I have just the spell. Captain. Yep. Here goes. Captain play. Shine as one. Tide of chaos. Hell yeah! Get him, guys! You want it! Oh, that should be the last of them, which means quest complete.
Good work. You won this day. This journal seems more recent.
Come to view the requests? Right. I can make the arrangements at once. Please be careful.
Never enough!
You're dead!
Understood.
We can't rest easy just yet. I'll keep a spell charge. Ready for pain?
Unbound! Back off! Break it, leg! Forward! You're through! Dependable.
Yeah, that wasn't our final form.
Let's do this.
Let's do it!
You're mine! I see through you!
Here, crackling?
Just get behind me. Bring it, Lane! Take this!
I'll wipe them out! Couldn't have done it without ya! Let's kick their ass! Appreciate it! These bugs are toast! Resolute! Eo! I have just the spell! Get him! Oblivion Ball! We are nothing we can't do!
You now! On the offensive!
I'll eat this!
Hold nothing back. Back off!
your jaw off the ground.
After them!
Who's next?
Man, this level.
I've got it! Go! All together! Air detonation!
You made that look easy.
Let's see. Don't mind if... Let's see. Perfect. Fair enough.
We've received a special request.